final boarding for flight 187 to Barcelona. Any passengers still holding tickets need to proceed to gate 10. The doors are now closing.
What are you doing here? You're gonna miss your flight.
It's better than missing you.
Sam must have told you we know Theo Hoffman is the Balkan and he hired you to grab Brenda.
Sam may have mentioned that.
Let her go!
I'm banking on a few odds in my favor.
Yeah, well, things turn on a dime, so you better ask yourself, is the Balkan paying you enough to die for him?
Not always a lot of choices for vets. I take work where I can find it.
You heard her. And I will kill you. And if I don't, the Balkan's gonna finish the job because you didn't.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Joel's let me in. He's gone to get supplies. Sucks. I know how quickly you go through them. I suspect you have little teeth in your feet.
Thank you, my dear. Always so thoughtful.
I try.
Any trouble finding my little fortress of solitude?
No, not at all. I just crawled in the cave and walked in the first door I saw.
It's reminiscent of Thessaly,
A tomb?
a storm cellar. I expect it to be quite dangerous up above once our son's murderer has been abducted. Why the frown?
I am worried.
About?
You. Your identity as the Balkan has been exposed.
These things happen.
Doesn't it bother you?
One mustn't fret about things one cannot change. We must, as they say, roll with the punches.
And if the plan to kidnap Brenda fails?
Delicious. I have no doubt that Sonny Corinthos is about to lose his bride on their wedding day.
Why did you object? You all right? Come on. Come on.
I'm not all right.
I'm sorry, did the bride just object to her own wedding?
Why? What's going on?
Because if I don't, Carly will.
It's definitely a ventricular defect.
Yes, well, let's see if we can get medical records of both of the parents.
I'm working on it.
You do that. Let me know when we can move forward.
All right.
Hey, was that about Edmund? The little boy who's having a hard time breathing and his mom's Marie?
That's the one. This kid needs surgery, and his mother's procrastinating about allowing access to his father's medical records, not to mention getting the guy in here for blood work. I don't get it.
The last time Edmund was admitted, his mom was freaking out, and I was the one to calm her down, and she shared with me that she's not sure her husband is Edmund's father.
Oh.
Yeah, so she was kind of hoping that her son would just get better before she had to blow everyone's world apart.
Well, not to sound cold or anything, but the day of reckoning is upon her.
Oh, I feel for her. I mean, not that I've been in that situation exactly, but I've come close enough.
What's wrong with this picture?
Nothing that I can see.
Nothing? You're supposed to be on a plane to Barcelona with your sister, flying off to somewhere safe.
And I considered it. Right up to the last minute when I declined to board. I was hoping that I might get a better offer.
Brenda was surrounded by Sonny's security detail like a
queen at a coronation. If I'm not back there to help Sean, he may not be able to get her out.
Is that your concern? Or are you afraid that he might?
What's that supposed to mean?
It occurs to me that my leopard may be changing her spots.
How dare you? Alexander was my son, too.
You've spent a lot of time with Brenda. Culling information, helping me piece together what happened after Alexander disappeared. Women have these mysterious bonding rituals. Perhaps you've gotten too close to Brenda and are now feeling some sympathy for the devil.
If you are sensing any hesitation in me, it's simply because I worry what this single-minded focus is costing you. Nothing we do will bring Alexander back. And revenge is sweet, yes, but it's fleeting. And after we've had it, we're right back in our lives again. Where you operate as the Balkan and that identity has been exposed, your entire organization is vulnerable.
Do you really think I care?
I think you should.
On the day Alexander disappeared, I accepted it as a manifestation of his anger toward me. On the day I learned he would never be coming back, all else became secondary. Except you. Brenda Barrett and her arrogant, overconfident Sonny Corinthos will soon learn firsthand about grief and regret. They will know what we suffered when we lost Alexander.
There's a long line of men who lost their lives with the Balkans' obsession over Brenda.
I see. So if you don't kill me where I stand, Theo will take me out for botching the job.
Right now, you have a choice. Sam, you okay?
I'm fine.
Where's Theo?
I don't know.
He's got to have a safe house somewhere.
I'm not privy to that type of information. Mr. Hoffman doesn't trust me like that. He doesn't trust anyone. He's a warlord, strategist.
Yeah, sounds like you really admire the guy.
I respect intelligence. Mr. Hoffman's second to none. And just so we're clear, I'm no dummy. So if you think we're going for a ride and your intention is to shoot me, you better do it right here.
Maybe nobody has to die.
Mom, what are you doing?
Don't make a fool out of yourself, Carly.
Brenda's been lying to you for months, and I have the proof.
You don't need to pull out the document. I've got this, Carly.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
You want me to have you thrown out of here?
For what, telling you the truth?
Babe.
Babe,
what
honey,
truth?
honey, just...
What
Let
truth?
me talk to you for a second, please. You just said...
What? Just tell me. I don't.
Carly has a document
Okay.
that proves that Dante and I had an affair 4 years ago. He got me pregnant.
That's ridiculous. Come on. Right? That's not true, right? She telling the truth, Dante? Dante! Now, okay. Now it's starting to make sense. Every time we were together, you guys would be very uncomfortable. You would always say to me that we were doomed from the start. You slept with him? With Dante?
Dr. Jackson in the past 15 minutes?
I haven't. I've been in conference, and I just got around to getting my messages.
Well, let me update you. Edmund's father finally came in to give blood to be tested, and the lab is putting a rush on it.
Oh, that's good news. And look at you. You're getting so big.
Say hi.
Oh, my gosh. I guess Laura did pass on some heavy-duty DNA through Nicholas.
Why do you say that?
Well, I've seen pictures, and he looks just like Lucky at this age. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Getting on that plane to Barcelona might be the best offer you're gonna get.
How do you figure?
Do you really want to compare Spain to upstate New York? I mean, where do we even start? The culture, climate, life expectancy? Look, the cash and the false IDs that I gave you and Megan, they would have set you up pretty well, and you wouldn't have to be looking over your shoulder for the Balkan. You wouldn't have to be dealing with my complications.
I'm not afraid of you.
No?
Well, I'm a brave lass. I dealt with the likes of the real Ronan O'Reilly before you pranced into town masquerading as the man. My ex-boyfriend, he would have never been considered a nice guy. I even remember looking death in the eye a few times in your pleasant company, and I'm still here.
Okay, you're fearless. I'll give you that. But have you been brave enough to look inside your own heart and deal with what's happening there?
Sam, why'd you leave Archer Pavilion?
I saw Sean in the main room. All of a sudden, he took off. So I followed him, and he was up here on the phone with the Balkan.
What were you supposed to do with Brenda?
Chloroform her in the bride's room, notify Mr. Hoffman, take her to a boat on the docks, wait for further instructions.
And that's it?
I didn't hire her on to kill her, if that's what you're asking.
Well, then what went wrong?
I couldn't get to her. Traffic in and out of that room was nonstop. Brenda's a popular lady.
Well, there's plenty of time when they're holding the ceremony from you. Why don't you grab Brenda then?
I was about to. Colleague Jack showed up. Apparently, her and Brenda had a lot to
but
discuss.
Still, if that was
You're
your
not
chance...
hearing me. I was there for Brenda. I didn't sign on to take out any witnesses.
If Carly hadn't found out about you, Dante, and the baby, would you have said anything to me?
No, there was no reason to.
You believe that?
Yes, because none of it's true.
Oh, I knew you'd pull this. That's why I came with proof. Right here.
Carly's telling the truth. At least, as she understands it to be. I'm guessing this is the custody agreement?
Yep.
Custody agreement? What?
It's legit. Sign. I claimed myself as the father of Brenda's child. And then I gave up all the rights. Only the document was a lie. Brenda's child wasn't mine.
What do you think, Aiden? Think we should dig up some of Lucky's old baby pictures? See if Monica's right?
Oh, Nurse Weber. I'm glad to see that you're still here. I'm collecting signatures to back up Dr. Jackson's order for that little boy's ventricular defect repair. I want to make sure that I have all the paperwork ready just in case the insurance company questions the procedure.
Sure, gladly. And the last thing that mother needs is a fight with the insurance company.
Thank you. Now, what are you still doing here? That little boy should be at home in bed.
Do you think he looks like Lucky?
Are you sure you want to go down this road again?
Well, Monica says he does, and I know she's seen Lucky's baby pictures.
Okay, look. Aiden's father is Nicholas Cassidy. All the tests back that up. Now, as soon as you make your peace with that, better off for you and your child.
You know what I see when I look in the mirror? Siobhan McKenna. I mean, I don't think about it any deeper than that.
Because you're afraid to?
I'm not a self-examiner by nature.
Oh, but even so, why do you think you want to go back to Port Charles?
Responsibilities. I mean, I feel guilty leaving Coleman in the lurch without his best waitress. And I still owe a week's worth of rent on my room at Kelly's.
Right.
And upstate New York, it has its selling points. I mean, who needs speeches and people with funny accents when I could take you down in a snowball fight.
I hate to break it to you, but you kind of have a funny accent, too.
It's rude to point out.
Look, I haven't changed since we've been in Ireland. I still have a tendency to trust and overinvest.
I thought about that too. You might turn out to be a bad bet. But it's no worse than some guitar playing Romeo in some Spanish cafe. I mean, at least with you. You know what I'm getting?
Maybe.
Passengers for flight 2247 to New York, JFK, please proceed to gate number 12.
You know, we could continue this debate on the plane, you know?
Yeah. Well, the flight's about to leave, so we should get moving.
Oh, it's a good thing. I already bought my ticket.
This was like a formality, wasn't it? Look at you. Jeez. Okay, come on. Bye.
Enjoy your flight.
Thanks.
Something wrong?
You Siobhan McKenna.
Well, that's the idea.
I'm afraid you can't return to the United States without a visa.
How do you know Carly?
First time I met her, I was with your little sister, Molly. And she was having a bad day. I tried to help her out.
Yeah, Molly says he did.
Anyway, Carly happened by. I saw her later at the Metro Court. I've run into her a couple of times since. And Carly's good people.
I mean, if you're trying to score points with your Port Charles connections, you can probably
the man
forget about
asked
that.
how I know Carly. Just answering his question.
Yeah, but you're a smart guy. I know you do your homework before you land somewhere, and Carly's a good person to have on your side in this town.
I can't prove I didn't research her. All I can do is tell you I didn't. Whether you believe it or not, out of my control.
Okay, what if Theo ordered you to grab Carly or Molly?
I don't mess with kids. As far as Carly, I didn't know her from Adam when I hit town. If her name had been on the contract instead of Brenda's, yeah, I would have grabbed her.
I am already light years late for this wedding, so this is... Guns? In my law firm? Are you insane? How many times have I told you I cannot be exposed to your alleged criminal activities? What is Mr. Butler doing being detained? He is supposed to be at the wedding, working security for Theo Hoffman.
Theo Hoffman is the Balkan. You need to help me find him now.
Brenda and I became friends in 2007 when I was assigned to guard her. She was being stalked by an ex-boyfriend. That's why the cops were brought in. The other problem Brenda had is that she found out she was pregnant, and she was terrified. She didn't want this guy or his family to have anything to do with the child she was carrying inside her. So I claimed I was the father, and I signed a legal document giving up that claim. And I did it to protect Brenda and her unborn child.
My, how convenient.
You know, Carla, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there was no affair. There was no baby between the two of us. Just a secret between two people that has absolutely nothing to do with you.
Sonny, are you buying this?
Carly, shut up, sit down, or leave. Because I can't deal with you right now.
I lied to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lie of omission, but it doesn't matter. It was still a lie. I hid this huge part of my life from you. And it's amazing because I actually complicated your already difficult relationship with your son. And I was gonna tell you, and I didn't. Because I'm selfish. And I'm not good enough for you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I disappointed you. I do love you. I never stopped. I never will.
time I was pregnant, I just had this feeling that Aiden was Lucky's baby.
But that's what you wanted. You had a baby to fix everything between you and Lucky.
I know, but I also believe in a mother's instinct. And honestly, I have never felt like Nicholas was his father.
Elizabeth, look, there were 2 paternity tests sent to different labs. There is no question.
Okay, but Helena was lurking around. I mean, what if she somehow changed the test?
Okay, why would Helena want to claim a Spencer as a Cassadine?
I don't know. You're right. It doesn't make any sense.
Dr. Brown.
Elizabeth, look, you have far too much on your plate. Now, my advice would be that you focus on your work and you be happy that you have 3 healthy little boys. There is far too much pain and disappointment in this world. You do not need to be stirring up anymore.
It does make sense that he would kind of look like Lucky because of Laura. Maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see.
Well, I'm a citizen of the world. I mean, I can be a tourist anywhere I please, can't I?
I'm afraid not. Your last day in the United States, you went past expiration date. So you'll have to apply for a visitor's visa.
Well, how long is it going to take?
Several weeks.
Well, that's not going to work, is it? I mean, the plane's about to board.
Excuse me. Detective Spencer, Port Charles Police Department. Miss McKenna is a material witness in a murder case, and it's been very difficult to get her this far. I can't let her go on a technicality.
Yeah, but your rules are rules.
I understand that, but Interpol's involved, okay? And that bumps it to international. And I can give you the contact info of the agent in charge. You just call Agent Bates. He can tell you how important this witness is and how slippery she's been.
And likely to remain so. I mean, I never wanted to testify in the first place, and now it looks like I won't have to.
Look, you can't let her walk away.
It's nice knowing you, Detective.
Wait. This is highly irregular, but given the circumstances, I'll allow passage on the flight.
Thank you. And I'll make sure Miss McKenna gets her paperwork in order as soon as we're back in the States.
Yeah, work fast. Wrap up your case quickly, Detective. Miss McKenna's stay in the United States is only limited to 1 month and 1 month only.
I am beyond furious. Not just with Theo, but with myself. How could I have been so gullible?
Theo, run. One hell of a cover. Don't blame yourself for being so gullible.
Yeah, none of us saw it.
I am going to eviscerate the New York partners. On their say-so alone, I gave that man complete access to all the information in this office. This is a disaster. This is an unmitigated disaster.
We can't fix that right now. We just have to find him. You sure you have no idea where he is?
Like I said, I'm not privy.
Were you the only man hired for the job?
As far as I know.
Okay, Diane, you got to pull everything you can find to give us insight on Theo Hoffman, go over cases, the money he spent, who he pays, who he works with more than others.
What about Brenda?
I mean, she's safe for now, but we don't have much time because Theo's going to make a move sooner rather than later.
All right, I'm on it. But you have got to take your captive elsewhere. No offense intended, but I'm a big believer in deniability.
Looks like we're going for a ride after all. Let's go.
Well, that does not gladden my heart. Well, it's done. Keep me informed.
What happened?
Brenda's devil luck is holding up. She eluded capture and made it to the altar, where somewhat of a scene ensued.
Let me guess. The ex-Mrs. Corinthos threw herself on the ground and held her breath until her face turned blue.
As it turns out, Brenda was pregnant in 2007. Dante Falconeri, the man who helped her cover up our son's murder, lent his name as the father and then fraudulently signed away his rights to protect the child from, I quote, that whack job and his powerful family, which can only mean that Brenda was pregnant with Alexander's baby when she shot him. She killed our son while carrying his only child, our grandchild. Did you know this?
Running away isn't the answer, Brenda. And no one knows that better than I do. Could you turn around and just look at me? Because I'm trying to figure this out. It's not easy. Please. I ran away from you on our wedding day, and I stood across the street in the rain, watching you break your heart. And I said then that that was the biggest mistake of my life. And I really don't want to make that mistake again.
Sonny, I love you, but I know you'll never forgive me for this.
I want to, for once in my life. I want to forgive you, but it's not what I do best. I mean, I got so much anger inside of me that it's like a weapon that I want to hurt people who hurt me. And I know I've hurt you a lot. And what did it get us? You know, years apart. Maybe that was okay because I needed those years to fall and realize that my life was screwed up because I could not trust the one person who loved me, who supported me. Why? Why couldn't you trust me?
Because I think you're gonna leave me.
Well, you always think someone's gonna leave you, but the thing you don't understand is that you push them away. As soon as someone says they love you, you wear a wire or you keep a secret. Because that's the easy way. Because if they stay, then they'll realize that you're not worthy of love and you don't deserve it because that's what your dad did to you. That's what you held on to. Your whole life. But I'm gonna tell you right now, your father lied to you. Because you do deserve it. You know why? I know because I love you. And you know what? Even when I'm angry or disappointed, even when on our wedding day, you keep something from me, it doesn't matter. Because I'll forgive you. And one more thing. I want to marry you.
Oh my God.
No, wait. No. I want to marry you more than anything in the whole world. Will you marry me?
Sonny, are you serious?
Yes. Of course.
Yes, I'll marry you.
We're ready.
Where were we?
Vows.
Oh, yes. Michael, do you take Brenda to be your bride? To live together in God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer, for better or worse, in sadness and in joy? To cherish and bestow upon her your heart's greatest devotion, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her, as long as you both shall live.
I do. I knew Brenda was pregnant.
She told you?
In Africa. She was very sick, delirious with fever, and she kept talking about the baby. Well, after the fever passed, I pressed her, and she said she'd recently had a miscarriage. It was a boy.
You knew this and didn't see fit to tell me.
I couldn't bear to, Theo. You were so distraught over Alexander's disappearance. I couldn't add to your pain by telling you our son's unborn child was dead.
I wonder if Alexander knew she was pregnant. If that's why he was so reckless in his blind pursuit of her. Brenda took everything. My son, my grandson, my only chance at an heir. That evil woman, blithely muddling clothes and begging for money as she goes, leaving death and devastation in her wake. And now she's the trophy of some minor crime lord who believes he can flaunt their wedding in my face.
Well, Brenda and Sonny are mistaken.
Where are you going?
You've been exposed. I'm good to go. No one knows I'm the Balkan's wife or Alexander's mother. I can finish this. I will get justice for our son.
Nice. Now that I've seen your inner sanctum, what? You burn my eyes out or something?
You talk so much when you get nervous?
Look, make me a deal and I'm out of here.
Well, what kind of deal are you looking for?
Well, let me go. I sever my ties with Theo and disappear. I've already made enough money to lay low for a while. I can peddle my services anywhere.
Well, you're acting like it's all about the money.
Look, and clearly we disagree, which leaves us with a serious dilemma. Where do we go from here?
Brenda, do you take Michael to be your husband? To live together in God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer, for better or worse, in sadness and in joy? To cherish and bestow upon him your heart's greatest devotion, and forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him, as long as you both shall live.
I do.
What token of love do you offer? Would you please place the rings in my hand? Thank you. May these rings be blessed as a symbol of this union. These two lives are now joined in one unbroken circle. Wherever they go, may Michael and Brenda always return to one another. May they grow in understanding and compassion. May these rings on their fingers symbolize the spirit of love in their hearts. Michael?
With this ring, I thee wed.
Brenda.
May I have your hand?
Oh, yeah, for a while, you know.
With this ring, I thee wed.
I will miss the pleasure of your company, but I agree. Your place is now at the wedding. Be prepared to act quickly.
Nothing more you can tell me before I leave?
Not to worry. Our revenge on Brenda is on track. You'll know what to do when the time comes. Yes, Sean.
There was a problem at the pavilion. I couldn't get to Brenda.
I'm aware.
We need to regroup. Where can we meet?
Well, now that my identity has been exposed, it needs to be in a place of seclusion.
Pine Barrens?
that encompasses a large area.
How about 1 mile past the junction at Route 15 and Ridge Road?
You've done a thorough reconnaissance. I'll be there shortly. Sean has gone over to the other side.
That's not good.
On the contrary, his defection gives us the perfect opportunity for an ambush.
Inasmuch as Michael and Brenda have consented together before this company of friends and family, having pledged their faith and declared their unity by the giving and receiving of rings, they are joined as one. And so, by the power vested in me by the state of New York and Almighty God, I pronounce that you are husband and wife. What God has brought together, let no man put asunder. You may kiss your bride.
Yeah?